Okay guys, another common thing is my TV won't work. How do I tune in my TV? Now this is a really common issue, and to be honest, I think a lot of times it's people just doing the wrong thing on setup. So as you can see, we got no signal here on the television. So the TV is on. First thing I'm going to say to you is your main 12 volt switch on, and have you got power to your sockets or your plugs? Okay, so if I have a look around here, which is our antenna, I can see the antenna's plugged in over here, which is by that little cigarette lighter plug, but there's no red light on there. So if there's no red light on there, that means there's no power going through to it. So I'm just going to put power through to it now.
Industrial action stops. But government frontbencher Brendan O'Connor insists the Commonwealth's action have nothing to do with the state dispute.
And I can see now that I've got a red light showing on that cigarette lighter plug. There's also a little glass fuse inside that plug, so it may be that that's been bumped and that's been damaged, but you need power to your 12 volt system and you need power to your plugs, and I'll show you where those two switches are in a moment. Once you've got those two on, we quite simply go through and do the setup on our TV. So firstly, you can hit input here, and you can actually see where we're hooked up at the moment to digital TV. So if you got a HDMI, which maybe you might want to take some movies with you and watch some movies, you know, via Netflix or something like that. So it might be a HDMI signal. But to do our tune, so what we need to do is hit the menu button and go into channel. So just hit enter. And we're going to use the arrows now to go down to auto tuning. Hit enter. Just make sure your country is set to Australia, and the tune type is digital TV or all TV. And once again we hit enter, and you can see it's actually starting the tuning process. So like I said, there's no use doing this tune if you don't have the 12 volt power switch on and you've got no power to your sockets, which is where your aerial booster is getting its power from. I have absolutely every bit of confidence where I live. I just live south of Cairns, that I'm going to get a whole bunch of TV channels. I know that. But I can tell you from where I live, if we don't have a booster system inside the house, we won't get any TV. So it's not an easy thing to get is TV where I live. Also, we did a trip one time. We were actually around about 55 kilometres between two cities, and we still managed to get you know, television through all the main TV channels. We're friends of ours who had a much more expensive van, which one of those big vertical stand-up antennas. They either got one or two channels, where we had a whole heap. So they do work, but I have had or read up some issues where people have the two cables, which is in behind these cupboards. You have to pull the false wall out to get to it, but where the two antenna lines join has come apart. So if that's the case, plug them back in and maybe just put some duct tape around it. But as you can see, it's going through its tuning process, and we'll come back shortly and see how many TV channels we got.
Yes, because not everybody needs to see your lobster roll.
Look, we got heaps of channels, so 7, 9 and 10, and a lot of those extra 7, 9 and 10, you know, extra channels that are coming through now. So there's 10 HD, 10 cans, 10 peach, 10 bowls. So you get the idea. There's a whole heap of extra channels that are all coming through. So that's how you tune in the telly. Just thought I'd quickly go through the Bluetooth connection on the stereo as well. So just to change the connections, this one says aux in. No connection usually means Bluetooth, and there's radio, aux in. So we're going to go to no connection. So go into your phone or whatever you're going to use for Bluetooth, and make sure your Bluetooth is on. And just hold this button in. And just start looking for something called Car Kit. hopefully you see car kit. And then you hit connect. And if it says Bluetooth audio, that means you're connected. And I'm guessing if I hit play now, you should have some music. And that's it. If you have any issues with the connection, even if you've been connected before and it doesn't do it, turn the stereo fully off, turn the power off, let it be off for about 5 or 6 seconds, then turn it back on, and the old turn it off, turn it on, it does work. And then try to do your connection again, and I guarantee it'll be up there the next time you do it. That's the stereo. So going back to before when I talked about the TV, having that switch puts 12 volt power through this whole system, okay? And each one of these switches are diverting where you want the 12 volt power to. So if you want to put the TV on and have the aerial working, we need the plug switch on. I'm just going to put some lights on so we can see what we're doing. The only other thing I'll probably talk about while I'm here is the inverter. So there's your inverter remote here. So for us, the only power when we're plugged into a caravan park power points at work is the power point that's inside and underneath the bed in the storage area where you've got your hot water system and your red arc system plugged into. The internal one's inside the van, and the one external to the van needs the inverter switch on, except for this small one which we've got up on our front counter, which I'll show you in a second. So there's power point here on the shelf just inside the door. Like I said, the one underneath the bed and actually the one in the fridge area are the only ones that work on 240 alone that don't need the inverter. Anyway, thanks for watching.